Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM22 One Club story from Hemel Hempstead Town with me, Daniel. We're back for part 12 of the Tudor Times today, and we've got a really tough episode on our hands. The magic of the FA Cup will be featured later on today, I hope, but firstly, we've got a trip to the side who we can't even see, they're so high up this table. Last season's FA Trophy finalists who we beat on penalties, Notts County. Will that mental block still scar them? I certainly hope so, because otherwise, I don't see how we get a result. We then face mid-table League One side Cheltenham away in the FA Cup. Hopefully, some financial revenue and boost to come from that. But what I'm really hoping for is them to put out a complete reserve side to give us half a chance in the FA Cup. There's also a case to suggest we're being found out in a league. We're sliding down the table. We're away from the relegation zone thanks to a win in our last game. But it has not been smooth sailing at all. And now we face some of the toughest sides in the league. So if you're looking forward to finding out how we get on today, in definitely the two hardest games of the season so far, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on for daily FM22 content. We're still on the beta schedule this week, so this series continues every day at 11:30, with the head coach at 3:30 every day as well. From next week on the normal schedule, 3:30 every day, the two series will rotate. But then we've got some specials from FM Mobile and Cricket 22 not far away as well. You can find a link to the Twitch channel up in the eye above, as well as anything you might have missed from the playlist and from our odd specials like the Data Hub one at the weekends. But a massive thank you for your support as always, as things, probably for the first time since episode 4, are starting to get a little bit tough now. If I take you through the schedule so you can see what's been happening since you were last with me, we've played what I talked about being probably our easiest run of fixtures. The 6 or 7 games where we had to pick up points. Well, we only won one of those games. We've made up for it by getting a brilliant win last weekend. But now, away to the leaders, away to a side in League One, at home to a side in the top half, away to another 2 sides in the playoffs. This is where, if we start to go on one of those horrible little runs, which we haven't done, probably since the start of the save, we're going to be in a real spot of bother, because the relegation zone is now only 7 points away. And we've played all the sides we could have been beating. So I'm not sure if we're going to have to call on reinforcements later in the year. We'll wait and find out on that front. But the fixture schedule's really not been kind to us. The 2 games a week has meant we've not been able to get a settled side in. We've had to bed more of the youngsters than we wanted. A couple of them have been in poor form, have struggled tactically. And it's led to us having a really inconsistent spell. So you were here as we played Maidenhead and Halifax. 4 points, everything looked great. We followed it up with a 3-2 defeat at Dagenham and Redbridge. Could have been an awful lot worse. We made a late comeback from 3-0 down. Marsh Brown got 1, Callum Reynolds with an own goal, a former Luton player. But in truth, 3-2 flattered us. We were absolutely awful that game. We got a 0-0 draw at home to Woking. I'm really glad in a way. I know the draws don't look great, and we have struggled to score so often this year. But the draws have come in between defeats and victories, and it's just stopped the rot. It's meant that we've been able to have little 2 games unbeaten. We've not really, at any stage, lost more than 2 in 3 games. And that's been because of those draws. So the Woking one was much appreciated, even though we were outclassed again. But David Gregory saved the day. It could have been so very different later in the month, though, because we lost away at Aldershot 1-0. Foley gets the goal on the hour mark. We were awful in that one. Again, though, Kopekwa managing a rating of above a 7.2. I think what we've learned from this series, if we look at the next game and who the star man was again, is that to get promoted from this league, we need 10 other players as good as Kopekwa, or 9 as good as Kopekwa and Gregory. I think that's where we're at the moment. Sedende got the winner against Guiseley, who were, and I think still are, bottom of the league, so we should have won more comfortably. We struggled to a 1-0 win. We got battered at Eastleigh 3-0. It was over at the hour mark. I tried to play Kopekwa when he wasn't fit, the same for Aaron Simpson at right back, and we got it wrong. We should have played players who were fit, and we saw a bit later on in the month against Carlisle that we actually did better in that way as well. A 2-2 draw at home to Darlington, another of the promoted sides from last year. A real struggle this one. Ellis Watts getting a rare substitute appearance, and he saved us. 89th minute, tap in at the back post, after Sedende had got us level on a stroke of half time. Then the game that led to what we're seeing today. But it could have been oh so different. Away at Spennymoor in the FA Cup, we were outclassed. Spennymoor had about 25 shots. We really shouldn't have been in it. We nicked extra time thanks to a Sam Mantum screamer. Nothing in terms of team play or anything like that. We got through extra time And then in penalties, Samir Carruthers missed the third one. Then with a fifth penalty, Spenny Moore going second, all they had to do was score to win. And David Gregory made a blinding save. As if the man couldn't get more popular, he's just earned us an extra 100 grand. Ellis Watts and Riley Harbottle score. Carl Magnay missed the second one in a row for the hosts. And we are the team that get the trip to Cheltenham, the League One side. We backed it up with a 2-0 defeat against Carlisle. I think based on what we saw in September, I've had to make decisions now. So tactically, I'm doing what I did against Wrexham. I did it against Carlisle. And we'll do it next month as well against either Hartlepool or Chesterfield. We're going to have to pick certain games away against the top sides where we rest everyone. We did it here with Carlisle. Of the first 11, only David Gregory and possibly Jack Senga played. He's not really a guaranteed starter either, but 9 or 10 changes at the very least. We held out for 50 minutes because we were fitter, but we didn't quite have that quality towards the end of the game. However, it meant we bounced back on Tuesday night. A big home game against Bromley. We came flying out the traps. We were 2 up after 10 minutes. Marsh Brown and Sedende got the goals. And we clung on despite a late fight back from our visitors to get a priceless 2-1 win. I doubt we'll be replicating that in either of today's 2 games. I'd love Cheltenham to rest everyone. And I know we beat Notts County in the FA Trophy final. But we did have the momentum of being about 35 unbeaten there. And we were also playing a side in a cup that rested a couple that maybe were complacent. They're not going to be here. This is going to be so difficult. Let's go and see how we get on. A big game at Notts County. And ironically, even though we're going to the leaders, a big professional side, it's a warm-up event in this episode. Let me pick the 11 that's going to play today. I think this is what we're going to go for. Cole Kopekwa, a slightly lower fitness rating. His condition, even with the full ones now, there's 2 very slightly different shades of green. Kopekwa is just struggling to stay fit. If he had the natural match fitness that he should have based on his rating, we'd probably have one of the best players in the league, but he just can't stay fit every week. We have obviously offered him that new deal. A few others will follow imminently, but we need to get the rest of the team up to his and Gregory's standard. Sam Mantum as well can probably be included in that. But the lineup for today is Gregory in goal, Simpson and Carson the fullbacks. Carson has definitely overtaken Fraser Shaw now, who's really struggled at this level. Kopekwa and Harbottle the first choice centre-halves. Senga sits on the bench, he covers centre-half and the holding role for the internationals. But Ochieng is fit and he's here today, with Mantum and Ollie Turner just ahead of him. Turner's really struggling, he's not getting settled at this level, and we've got to bear in mind that the number 10s aren't getting a huge amount of football because we're having less of the ball, we're having less attacks per game, and even when we've had Carruthers in there, he's struggled. So I'd rather play the youngster in 2 games we don't expect to win. Dobson back in on the left, he's starting to improve and warm to the higher standard of football. Marsh Brown over on the right-hand side. And Victor Sedende, 5 goals for the season up front. Is it enough, really, for a National League striker? I don't know, but he started slowly last year. I'm keeping the faith till winter. Let's go and get into the first game of the day and see if we can warm up for our FA Cup clash in style. And here we go. There's a lot of players we recognise from the Cup final last year, but they have added in a little bit of quality, and players who were left out last year, the likes of Carl Cameron and Cal Roberts, proving they are first team players. Cameron's actually the skipper, Roberts a superstar. This is going to be a really difficult match. They're top of the league for a reason. They've overtaken some very top sides. We saw how good Carlisle were when we played them a couple of weeks ago. They're playing them off the park, but they've still got this weird tactic. Can we make it count against them? We can't early doors because they've scored from a set piece. And we just haven't got the physicality to compete. We said this in the National League South, and it's something I might have to address. We knew last year we weren't going to be as good from set pieces. We knew we were going to have to set up and take advantage of other areas because we had good players who were great from open play as Palmer puts a free kick just wide. But we didn't have the height. We didn't really have those players who could stand up and be counted. As we've got a throw on the left-hand side with Matthew Carson, takes it short to Dobson. Carson on his bike again, but Dobson goes alone. Nice little turn back there. Releases Carson, the Northern Irish Youth International. Header away by Cameron, flicked on by Chickson. Only finds Simpson. Both fullbacks struggling a bit this year, but Marsh Brown's found there. It's been cleared away too easily though. Not what we wanted in the final third. Just lacking that quality more consistently. As Carson plays down the line for Dobson. He's still got that crossing ability. Can he find one now? Gets towards the byline. There's 3 in the middle. Marsh Brown's at the back stick. Loses out to Carl Cameron. The big back 3. And to be honest, we can't compete in the air. So then they gets a 3-1 there, but he was offside. And Notts County survived, but we're coming back into this game a little bit. Well, half-time without any further incident, it stays 1-0 to Notts County. We've actually restricted them pretty well, so I'm going to tell the lads they're keeping up, they're doing well. And to be honest, we can't expect much more. We're playing the best side in non-league football at the minute, and we're competing. The problem has been, in the Wrexham game, in the Carlisle game, we've tired late on. The semi-pro fitness has really shown. We've got a free kick here with Dobson into the back post. Oh, Capek, we're over. We're 25 to go though. Dobson, the star man, looks knackered. We have got a week off after though, so I don't have to be as worried about fitness as normal. At the back, Capekwa looks the same. Carson's not looking great. But there's 15 minutes to go, and I feel we've got to go for this. Roberts puts the corner in. Another free header. Just wide of the post from Sam. We can't compete on set pieces. It's a big old problem. Let's take off Oshien because he's knackered and not playing that well. Bringing Senga on as well. I know he's 5'11", but he's a centre-half, so he might be able to help in the air. Zedende up front has been poor, so Brown Sterling can have a go. And then the other changes, either Dobson, who's struggling physically, or Carson, who's struggling performance-wise. Let's do Carson. We'll bring Oganteo on, a flying left-back on the overlap. 15 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Can we sneak an equaliser against the leaders? It would be an unbelievable point if we can, but I don't think it's coming. At the moment, it looks a good job to hold the score down to 1-0. Not many have done that against Notts County, but I think we're going to lose. 3 minutes of stoppage time to play. Gregory has a free kick just inside his own box. Up to Marsh Brown, flicks on. Brown Sterling's in here. Doesn't score many. Scores now. 90th minute equaliser at the league leaders Notts County. That is a big goal. Let us get the time wasting on. Because if we can hold on for this, it's an incredible point. What a time to score. What a super sub up front. Now let's get our backsides back and make sure we don't concede. If we can get a draw here, warming up for the cup tie, these are the sort of points. Forget the 1-0 wins at home to Guiseley. Forget the fact that we beat Bromley in the week. Nicking a point off the league leaders, who are turning everyone in the bottom half over, is how you stay up in this league. And I knew it wasn't going to be an easy season. It looked great at the start. That was the momentum. That was always going to go quite quickly. If we can stay up by getting points like this, it is a fabulous, fabulous season. So for the second game in a row, but in different circumstances, I get the time wasting on into stoppage time. Against Bromley, it was to hold on for 3 points. In this one, it's to try and nick a precious one. 3 minutes to go against Notts County. And to be fair, we've been great value for it. And I think we're going to get it. What an effort. And that is the result of gambling against Carlisle. We rested, the whole team took a defeat in that game. And then against 2 of the top 7 in a week after, we've picked up 4 points. Super sub performance from Brown Sterling. I'm so pleased with that. What a result. And now 7 days off to get ready for a big trip to Cheltenham. We're back for FA Cup first round day. And the question is going to be, how strong did Cheltenham go? They've dropped since the FA Cup draw from 16th to 23rd, but look how tight it is in there. There is not much between most of the teams. They've signed some really good players actually, and I think they'll get back out of trouble quickly. Maybe they've had one eye on this after all that, eh? Ochieng's really struggling. He's playing the international breaks. He's not getting any breathers. I think we might have to give him a week off at some point, but for now, I don't think I can change that first 11. It played really well last time out. We've got a couple more spaces on the bench, which is great. So Chris Paul gives us a little bit of depth, as does Ellis Watts. I think aside from that, the squad, the team, everything else stays the same. Apart from Turner out, heavy match load, not playing well. Carruthers' experience. For the big game, better partnerships too. That's the team I'm going for. 1 change to the starting 11, 2 additions to the bench. Cheltenham away, a League One side, but an out-of-form one in the FA Cup. Now, can we build the momentum from that last-minute equaliser at Notts County? Well, that might be our answer. Only 3 changes for the team for Cheltenham. But did they play? I just want to check, actually. Did they play an EFL Trophy match? No, that's after. So that's 3 changes from a defeat at Rotherham. They haven't won in over a month. So we've got a chance against a side out of form. They have, though, signed some brilliant players. Rhys Oates was one of the top scorers in League 2 in the first season of this save. He's come into the team today. George Moncur drops out, a player who is on loan. He was at Hull last season playing in the Championship for them. Liam O'Neill's a great player too. But it's a very good side. We are heavy underdogs against Cheltenham's first team. They're taking no chances, but we've got a plucky little side here. And if we can get a draw and take them back to Hemel, I think A, it will be on TV, and B, we'll get a lot of cash into the club. 5 minutes gone, we've got a corner with Dobson. We might be the side that's more up for this. Oates heads the ball away, but Carson keeps it in on the left. Back to Kopekwa. Goes from distance! Oh my word! Cole Kopekwa has just scored an absolute screamer. First of the season, the man who has been man of the match every single game by being brilliant defensively. And he's just turned up with a rocket. Is it too early though? Reece Oates in at the other end, heads just over. Imagine if we win this. What a moment for the football club. I know it's very early, but it gives us a much better chance of nicking a result and taking them back to our place, which is almost a preferable option. Corner kick for Cheltenham though. Not even half an hour gone yet, and I'm talking like we've won it. They hit the post, and then Carruthers. What an interception to stop the rebound going in. It's back out for another corner, but we know this is our weakness. Dickinson delivers again. Kopekwa's there. You beautiful man. Out to May on the left. Finds Husband. Another signing from a Championship club, this time in Blackpool. And with our only shot on target, we lead. It's a rocket. We've created nothing. But Kopekwa scores a screamer. Dickinson with an outswinging corner this time. Free header at the back post is over. We need them to keep missing, because at the moment we're living very dangerously. Nearly at half-time, their expected goals is over 1. Ours is 0.11. But Cole Kopekwa has scored an absolute rocket. We're not going to get that much this season. It is Cheltenham 0. League 1 Cheltenham 0. Hemel Hempstead mid-table in the National League 1. And Kopekwa brings the ball out again at the start of the second half. Not what we wanted from Carson. Silly pass to give it away in his own half. Oates comes forward. Don't let that be the equaliser. Don't let the goal come from one of our own silly mistakes. Reece Oates is in. And Matthew Carson. This is the danger with having young players. You're going to get odd mistakes. And that's very early to concede an equaliser. Got a feeling we might go on to lose this now. We've reached the hour mark. I've got to be honest, James Dobson has been completely ineffectual in this game. So Samuel Oganteo, electric pace on the break, can come on out there. I don't know if we want to make a change in the middle yet. I'm going to leave it 5 or 10 more minutes. I might do the same sub as Notts County with Oshieng replaced by Senga. Just give us an extra centre half. A little bit more maybe defending the set pieces. We've got 20 minutes to go. 2 of the changes made. Simpson's struggling up at right back. So can we take him off? We've got a corner to defend first. Hunt puts it in. Oganteo heads clear to Marsh Brown. Can we counter? Can we counter down the left? Marsh Brown on a run, but he's out of legs. It's back to Dickinson though, not the best ball. Sedende chases him. And actually Marsh Brown is knackered too. So could we bring the super sub on again? Brown Sterling scored a big goal in the FA Trophy last year. Scored a massive goal at Notts County earlier in this episode. Do we bring him on the right wing and just see as Sedende flicks down for Marsh Brown? Hang on a minute. Marsh Brown shoots. Just over the bar. Didn't even have the legs to run. So do you know what? I'm going to do it. Marsh Brown replaced by Brown Sterling. He's on a high after that goal. Look at his morale compared to the rest of the team. And we've actually come back into this second half. If we get to stoppage time, you can bet your bottom dollar that we will be time wasting for these 4 minutes. Never will 2-1 all draws in an episode be such an incredible achievement. We're going to go to wing-backs on defend. This could be a big money spinner for this club. Carruthers will go back as a deep line playmaker on defend. Senga can just play as an anchor man. We're going to keep Brown Sterling on a support duty. He can't even play on the right of a midfield side. But we are 4 minutes from bringing League 1 Cheltenham back to Vauxhall Road. Surely a TV tie, National League v League 1. And what a performance it's been. We've actually been better in the second half when we should have been declining physically. Of course, the other side of that is we've now got an extra game. It could be a big balancing act to get all of these players fit. But let's go and get back into it. 4 minutes of stoppage time. Please let us hold on. Financially, it's so important for the future. It's extra time. I'm pretty sure FA Cup replays are a thing. Don't tell me it's because of Winter World Cup year. Because if it's Winter World Cup year, it is not affecting Cheltenham and Hemel Hempstead. Let me promise you that. I think I've been conned by the Winter World Cup. You've got to be joking. Oh, we can't hold on for 30 more. Let's go and make another change because Simpson is shattered and not playing well. Chris Paul on for him. Now, do we stick or twist? I'm going to time waste to penalties. I think it's our best chance. If we can get to penalties like we did against Spennymoor, David Gregory's the man. David Gregory is the man who can deliver for us. We've got through the first 15 unscathed. Yes, they're having chances, but not good enough to see highlights. And I think we're going to trust our superstar goalkeeper with heroics again. Unless Cheltenham can break our hearts late on. Hunt delivers across to the back post. Dickinson down for Oates. Slides in from 3 yards to score. Now we're facing the prospect of going out. It's heartbreaking stuff. Let's go back to our original tactic. I am absolutely mortified. And I should have really known because that happened in the other game, didn't it? I should have known from the Spennymoor game going to extra time. But let's go and get into the last few minutes. No time wasting. We've equalised once. We can do it again. That's what I'm telling myself anyway. 7.5 minutes of extra time to go. Can Hemel Hempstead create one more chance? It's a throw-in the right back area for Cheltenham. I think the problem is we're running on empty now. These lads are probably running out of steam. And I think it's more likely we can see the third, though. Carson's nicked it back to Carruthers, to Manton, back to Harbottle. We've said it before with this team. They don't know when they're beaten. We saw it against Notts County. Can Brown-Sterling deliver again? To Sam Manton. Challenged, but it falls for Sedende. To Brown-Sterling. To Oganteo. He's in one-on-one. Why did he take it on his weaker foot? It's a brilliant opportunity to score. We've got a corner though. We're finishing strong again. Carruthers into Harbottle. He just loses out. Carruthers back to Paul. Onto the roof of the net. Almost. Almost for Hemel Hempstead. What a heartbreaking defeat. Maybe we should have gone for it because we threatened them a little bit. But we're out of the FA Cup, having done ourselves proud and pushed the League One side to the very edge. What I need to know is how much money we've made out of it because they only got 1,600 through the gate. Archieng is now absolutely knackered. Let's have a look at the finances. It's not ticked over yet. I'm going to skip to tomorrow. We'll look at the schedule for when we're next going to be back. And please let that have gone up because otherwise it's going to be really disappointing. We are gaining money all season though from being well under our wage budget. Fingers crossed. Well, remarkably, we've not gained anything and we're actually losing money from our wage bill this week. How have we got so little after that? The FA Cup revenue is supposed to be shared, isn't it? The gate receipts this month, they're no higher than they would be for one of our games. It's so disappointing. I guess the benefit is we have got 2 more home matches this month. So we might get our usual display, despite playing more away games. 4 games on the road this month, 4 on the road last month. The FA Cup has not been kind to us, not given us any home comforts. So it looks like it's going to have to be an FA Trophy run again, if at all. But our priority is staying in the National League. What we're going to be back for is the final game of December and the first game of January. Because we've got another shocking little run there. Wrexham, Southend, Stockport. It just stinks. It's tough games against professional sides. Wrexham and Southend will be the 2 on camera. 2 days apart as well. A real test of the squad. Which one are we going to rest players for? We'll find out next time around. If you did enjoy this episode, heartbreak in the FA Cup, but jubilation before that away at Notts County, please do put a thumbs up on the video. I think we can still see the fighting spirit in this side. It's just not quite good enough for this level, so there will have to be some changes next summer. But I want to do it in increments. We want to build properly. If you're looking forward to the rest of the season and you want to stay up to date, subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. We're on the beta schedule for the rest of this week, which is double uploads, 11:30 for Hemel Hempstead, 3:30 for the head coach. And then from next week, a video a day at 3:30, as well as some specials from FM Mobile and Cricket22 coming later this month as well. You can find a link to all the playlists, the odd specials and the Twitch channel in the eye above. A massive thank you for your support. But let me know in the comments if you think we'll stay up. And I'll see you next time to see how we're doing after the tough fixture list that's coming up in the next month or 2. I'll see you there.